This is a busy Olatila show, the flagship world TV talk shows in Africa. Need I say that? And today we have an illustrious son of Africa who has decided to grace this occasion with his very esteemed presence. For so many years, he was the High Commissioner of Trinidad and Tobago in Nigeria. I'm talking about Ambassador Patrick Edwards, High Commissioner of Trinidad and Tobago in Nigeria. Your Excellency?
Thank you very much.
How are you, sir?
I'm here. It's a pleasure to be here. Where will you go?
Nice to meet you. And I like for you to cast your mind back when you first set your foot on Nigerian soil. When was this?
That was on July the 1st, 1981, when the British Airways flight from London stopped over at Kano.
Okay.
And of course, passengers alighted, and those who were going on to Lagos had to remain. But I walked out to the stop of the aircraft and looked around and breathed in the Nigerian air. And deep within my soul, I said, so this is Africa.
So that's the first time in Africa?
First time in Africa. So I said, this is Africa. This is Nigeria. And I inhaled. And I said, The Nigerian air. This is the land of my ancestors.
How long have you been here altogether?
If you include my first manifestation, if was coming to Nigeria, and the second, collectively it would be roughly 8.5 years.
Okay.
No, 7.5, 7.5 roughly, yeah.
Okay. That's wonderful. What similarities have you been able to decipher between us as people, the Trinidadians and the Nigerians?
Trinidad and Tobago is a very, very mixed society. As one historian said, it's a polyglot society. 40% of our population originally came from West Africa. That is during the great age of slavery, 18th, 19th centuries, 17th, 19th centuries. The other 40% came from India during the great age of indentureship. That gives you 80%. The remaining 20% comprise people from China, from the Middle East, from Spain, from Holland, from France, all over Europe. So that has produced a mixture of people. So I am seeing similarities, but I'm seeing differences. There are similarities in us in terms of, let's say for instance, religion. Most of the people who came to Trinidad from Nigeria were of Yoruba ancestry. We had a few Igbos. In fact, strangely enough, we had a few Hausa, because I'm from the south of Trinidad. And the rural part is a trace. If you go up there, they call Hausa trace, Haussa. And I used to ask my father when he was alive, Hausa. And they said, no, they had people from Africa that used to live here called Hausa. But it wasn't the Hausa, but Haussa.
Okay.
So you have that sort of a connection. Then Orisha, very, very strong. All the deities. Of course, we worship somewhat differently here. I think down here, every deity has its own shrine. In Trinidad, it's different. Within one shrine, you'd have 5, 6, 7, 8 deities. So you have Shango, you have Shapana, you have Ibija and Ibija, you have Osain, you have Oya, all the deities.
That's right.
And so the similarities are there.
Okay.
We worship, in fact, our own sometimes we tend to follow the Orthodox Yoruba because we're causing a time warp and we haven't had any infusion. So whatever the songs you sing in the Yoruba language, when you're practicing the religion, tend to be the type of Yoruba intonation that you get in, say, 1910.
So interesting, and that's a very good tip for the students of history and all of that. Now, who are you married to?
I am married to a very charming, erudite, sometimes quiet, but beautiful woman by the name of Diana Edwards.
Diana Edwards. When did you meet her?
Good fortune smiled upon me when you entered university. In fact, I entered university in 1968, and And she entered in 1969 at the University of the West Indies, St. Augustine in Trinidad. And I think, well, I was a senior in that. It was my second year, she was in the first year. And of course, at the university, the seniors looked down on the juniors who were coming in and, what they call grub week. Now, there's a little dispute between us. I recall it was in grub week. She said, no, it wasn't in grub week, it was a week after grub week. But I was so mesmerized by the lady, I've lost track of time. And the mesmerization is still there.
And it will be there eternally.
Perpetually, eternally.
Now, what did you first tell her? Can you paint a scenario of exactly your first moves toward telling her about your mind and your intentions?
Well,
the exact words, if you can remember that.
It's difficult to say, but in reality, when I first met her, she was in the company of a good friend of hers. So both of them were walking out of the campus going towards home, because they were living off campus, and I was living off campus pretty close to the university. Interestingly enough, I was teasing her friend. Her friend was perhaps a little more talkative, but she was always sedate, always reserved, always very quiet. So Hector, her friend, miserable senior. And this friend was responding, chatting nicely. But then my eyes fell on her, and then her friend said, "Look, my friend, why not talk instead of me?" Instead of me. So, of course, I spoke with her, but very reserved, very distinguished, and perhaps looking down at this senior who is trying to show off his seniority, against the junior. And from one thing to the next, and gradually, the friendship with her friend was transposed over to her. It was a tough nut to crack, I can tell you. Very reserved, looking up, but I persevered. And it has paid off handsomely since then.
Now, how does she know if you're in a troubled state? It could be anything at all. How does she know this? How do you show that?
And depending on the nature of the issue, if it's in work, tremendous amount of work, or whether it's some problem, family problem of another nature, the mood changes and it varies. Either I become more reserved, more quiet, more pensive, more contemplative. Very little communication. And I think she would try to find out what it is. You're not your normal jovial self. And then, the information comes out as a case.
All right, that's good enough. Now, tell me this one. Her shoe size, what is it? Her trouser size, what is it? Her skirt size, what is it?
I really don't know. Because she's such an independent person, she wouldn't allow me to buy any shoes for her.
I like that.
She wouldn't allow me to buy her clothes for her. She would invite me to come along, but she would do all the selection. It's a spirit of independence in that quarter.
I'm giving her that. That's very good. Now, if I ask questions like this of most of my guests, I'm going to repeat this. If for any reason you decide to take another wife, what would be her reaction?
The wife will have nobody to marry because I'm a damn quench now. No, she would never tolerate.
She wouldn't tolerate that?
No, she wouldn't tolerate that, not at all.
Okay. What kind of a person are you?
I like to think, and I hope she would concur with me in this area. I like to think I'm a family man. I really look after my family. I'm very close to my family. Although at times they tend to believe that I spend more time at my work, I'm more dedicated to my work and getting the job done.
Don't marry to work.
This is what they say sometimes. But short of the work, I would spend a lot of time with the family once the occasion presents itself. Now, of course, as the girls have grown up, they are university, they're moving into adolescence. Some of the children want to have their space. Of course, I don't give them their space. But behind that is the thought that the family is there. And as head of the family, one have to look after one's family, both economically, psychologically, spiritually, physically, etc. In this omnibus sense.
All right. I remember the very first car that you bought. Remember the number of the car?
In fact, the very first car I had was a car my mother bought for me when I was, no, the very first car was my parents' car when I was in A-level. They used to do A-levels at school. They used to give me the car because being their only child, I'd done well at O-levels, very studious, very respectful, ideal child. My father allowed me to use this car to go to school in sixth form at times. Not every day, but on certain occasions. Then I went to university, and I graduated with honors, BA, lower second class honors, and my mother was so proud, she bought a car. It was a Vauxhall Viva, a yellow motor car. Now the number was, I can't recall the number, but it was a yellow car, new brand car, that is for passing the exam.
When, of all the children, do you have a favorite? How many of them in the first place?
Well, 3 girls, no boys.
Okay.
I think I like all of them, but each child has some distinctive characteristics about them.
Wonderful. Well, I mean, we've been talking to His Excellency Patrick Edwards, the outgoing High Commissioner of Trinidad and Tobago in Nigeria. Now we should meet the lovely wife. Mrs. Diane Edwards. And how do you say hello to each other? I mean, the world is watching you. This goes beyond handshakes.
Ah, my dear, come.
How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Nice to see you.
Nice seeing you too.
Looking really gorgeous, just like you described you.
Thank you.
So now, and go straight to you and your husband. He told us quite a lot about you and how you both started. I'd like you to corroborate some of these stories. Where did you meet? When was this, and what was the exact, scenario? And can you remember what he told you?
I met through a friend of mine. I don't know whether he remembered how we met, but I knew, right, he was taking her out. It was a lunchtime, and somehow, I don't know, I met them going out, and, I just, said hello and so on, and I passed them, and I looked back at them, and he looked back at the same time. And I think it was then.
There was some eye contact.
Yes. I think it was then that Cupid released its arrow.
And struck both of you.
Well, I think it struck him.
Yes.
Right.
You're not
because soon after, I left a class late one evening, and he was waiting outside for me. I don't know if you remembered all these, but I remember that. He was waiting outside for me, and I was with another friend, and then he started, just talking about, getting married, and when you get married, I don't even know whether he would remember all this, but I remembered it.
So how would you describe him?
Very hardworking, right, dedicated, right, to the family, right, but his middle name is Brooke.
Brooke?
Right.
He's a worm.
Yes, he's a workaholic.
Okay.
Yes.
I asked him if he has a favorite amongst the children.
In fact, we were just discussing it, and with some other friends, and I think the last one is most like him.
Okay.
Vibrant, friendly, and yes, like to meet people, outgoing, right? Whereas the other two are pretty much reserved.
Well, it was the name of the very first car that he drove. The number, most probably.
The first car I drove, that was after.
He drove.
Oh, that he drove. Oh, I can't remember the number, but I know it was his parents' car, because he used to drive it to campus sometimes, but I can't remember the number. Yes, but it was his parents' car. And then after that, he got a yellow car. I used to call it a yellow bird. A yellow car with red upholstery.
I like that. What if he just goes crazy, like they say, and wants to pick up another wife?
Not at all. Never happened.
You will never do it?
Of course not.
But what if he does it? How would you react? I actually asked him how you react.
I don't think he's that crazy.
He's not that crazy?
No, he's not that crazy.
No, okay, that's all right, that's all right. I asked him to give us your shoe size, your trouser size, your skirt size, and he drew blank on it. Help him out.
Do I have to reveal those sizes? No, it's just that when it comes to buying things for myself, I usually do it myself.
Exactly.
Because, yes, because to a certain extent, I like very simple clothes. And I know if I send him to buy, he'll buy something a little too, too elaborate.
Okay.
So that is why I really prefer to go out and buy my things. Now, sometimes he accompanies me, but he doesn't actually come into the store. He prefers to stop to wait outside for me.
Because the kind of things you want, he wouldn't know.
Yes. So that is why I really, I really go out and buy my.
Now, you're living in Nigeria now. What would you miss most about Nigeria?
Well, to a certain extent, the food, right? I like Nigerian food a lot. Abuja, the peacefulness of Abuja, right? That laid-back atmosphere, right? I'll miss that to a certain extent. And I guess the warmth of the people. Yes, the warmth and friendliness of the people. Yes, and Nigeria is a place where, even when I was there in the 80s, you never to know what may happen day to day. There's always something exciting, going on, right? The social life, all these ceremonies and so on. I'll certainly miss that about the place.
Very, very much, Your Excellency, Patrick Edwards, and Madam Diane Edwards. Thank you very much, and I wish you all the best as you go back. I'm sure you'll have fond memories of Nigeria as your brothers in the diaspora. Thank you very much again.